Today I'm going to share with you how I enhance student engagement using the Explain Everything app and images and visuals that really resonate with the students, specifically photographs of themselves engaging in math content. So here we have a linear equation slope-intercept form, and this can be a little bit, it can be a little bit boring for the kids. And what we can do in Explain Everything is get a coordinate plane, and this is a PNG, which is kind of cool because we can take this image and we can now zoom in and out. And one of the things I love about the Explain Everything app is that you can zoom in precisely where you want on a visual, so there's no ambiguity, there's no confusion about where in the coordinate plane you should be looking at. So if you want the kids looking at this intersection right there, bam, they know exactly what you're talking about. So if you're graphing slope-intercept form, one of the things that teachers typically do is they'll have students say, imagine you're standing right here at the origin point and you want to go up two, you're climbing 2 tiers on a ladder or whatever, and then you're going to jump up one more tier and then go 3 to the right, rise over run, right? So that's all well and good. However, I'm convinced using images of students themselves just really enhances the lesson significantly, whereas students can think, all right, here I am climbing up this ladder, jumping up 2 and then going up 1 more and then over 3. And this visual is cool, except we see there's this green background. We can see that it's not entirely professional looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new slide. I'm going to add that coordinate plane one more time. And what I'm also going to do is add an image that I already created in Photoshop, and I'm going to share with you precisely the steps I used to create this. So here we have another former student, and I'm going to grab him on this Yoshi. He's a big Mario fan, and he loved this lesson when we taught it. So here all of a sudden, he can imagine himself standing right on the y-intercept and jumping up 2, and we can see that he can very clearly, along with the rest of the class, see how many blocks he should be scaling to the right or left, up or down, etc. This is a really cool technique. On a side note, another thing that I like to do with linear equations, although this has lots of application, is grab a background, and we'll use this one right here. We'll blow it up a little bit, and I'm going to add that coordinate plane again so you can see precisely how this works. So you can have students, for example, graph this slope. If they're starting right here, what's the y-intercept, and they're counting over down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, etc. So they can see that it's 1 over 1. That's pretty nifty, right? So how do we do that? How do we create these images where a student's cut out and we can see them very clearly on this background? Well, the first thing that we're going to need to do is go to Photoshop, and let's do that together right here. So I'm going to go back to Photoshop, and here we have the student once more. And what we're going to do is we're going to select any number of selection tools, really. There's all sorts of things, selection tools that you can identify. And what I'm going to do is, and this might get a little tricky, I'm going to unlock the background layer by double-clicking on the layers palette. And I'm just going to use the magnetic lasso, although you can use the quick selection tool. You can use the polygonal lasso. You can use all sorts of tools. I would encourage you to check out my YouTube channel to find one that suits you and your needs. Tremendous. Now what I'm going to do is going to press Control-Shift-I to invert this selection, and I'm going to press delete. And now all of a sudden here we have this student cut out, and yes, I did a horrible job, but that's okay. I'm going to save this image, File, Save As, and we're not going to save it as a PSD if you're in Photoshop. Instead, we're going to save it as a PNG, and I'm going to save this as, we'll save this as Nicholas EE, Explain Nicholas. Explain Everything, Nicholas as a PNG. All right, so that's one way of getting a PNG file. Another thing we can do, and you can use basketball players or other celebrities that appeal to kids. Probably if you don't have any experience with Photoshop, the easiest thing to do is go to Google image search, and you're going to type in .png, which is the image file, and then you can type in whatever. We'll type in Mario, for example. And these are all PNG files. We're going to find one that is a PNG file. Let's see. What one do we... I'm looking at the different dimensions. All right, we'll just use this one. It's not that serious. I'm going to right click. I'm going to save image. This is a Mario Brothers PNG image. Great. So now we've got a couple. I'm going to go to my email. I'm going to compose, and let's attach these two images of Nicholas and Mario. Great. All right. All right. Great. So I do this very frequently. I will go into Photoshop, I'll email myself, and now I'm going to go back to my iPad. Tremendous. And let's check my email, and it's arrived. And so here I see we've got the two PNG images. It's downloading Mario, it's downloading this other student. Nice. And I'm going to save two images, and they're going directly to the camera roll. All right, let's go back to explain everything. Let's open up a new slide. Let's pop in that coordinate plane one last time. Great. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to add that other image. So here we see all of a sudden we have Nicholas, and yes, I did an awful job selecting, but that's okay. You guys get the picture. So now he's going up 2 blocks, he's going to the right, he's jumping all over the place. And here's another image of Mario. What are some other applications if you're combining like terms instead of letters as variables? You can pop in students, you can do all sorts of fun things. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, shoot me an email, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.